All right, everybody. 2 planes, 1 pilot, FPV. Can it be done? Maybe? So here's the plan. We're going to take the ATOMRC Swordfish, number 4, and we're going to launch this thing up in the air. We're going to go into INAV, set the maximum loiter radius, which I believe is 980 some feet. We're going to get it up in the air. We're going to let it loiter around. This plane will probably fly with this ZOHD 4S lithium ion pack. It'll probably stay up in the air for 45 minutes, I would guess. So plenty of time to get everything situated. And I'm going to be using it with my Boxer and my goggles V2. Then, after we get this thing up in the air, we know it's good. We're going to come over here to the Pimp Daddy, the twin motor DOLPHIN 6S, which is more PLA plastic than it is foam these days. We're going to be operating this on my new TX16S, and we're going to be using the goggles too, because I can record my OSD with this, can't record my OSD with that. And again, it's an O3 air unit. Everything's using ELRS radio. And then the third option is going to kind of help me do this, which is not needed, but it's going to help, is my laptop with this special little box here in the back. This is a Raspberry Pi 3. On this Raspberry Pi 3 is a program called DigiView. This allows you to look at the feed from your goggles V2, gets pumped out through a USB-C cable into this guy. This gets pumped out over here to the laptop. This is an HDMI cable, so you could use a TV if you wanted to. But then I'm using an HDMI to USB converter, so that way I can just have it here on my laptop. Less crap to bring. And here is our DigiView. Now, there is a delay. But, as you can see, this is nice and easy. Like, I can totally just take my goggles, lift them up, look at the monitor, come back. So, this is my plan. It's got a little bit of equipment. It's all pretty cool, but it's just cool nerd stuff. I don't know, man. I just think it's so fun. On a side note, if you guys want me, and gals, would like to see a video of how I kind of put this thing together, it was super cheap. It's super easy. If you do, post up in the comments, and if I get more than maybe one person asking me, I'll probably do it. Alrighty, so there you have it. You see what I'm going to use. Let's go ahead and head on out to the field and see if we can make this happen. Alright guys, we're here at the field. Now, the audio from this recording had so much wind in it, it was horrible. So we're going to do this thing voiceover style. So I got everything turned on, ready to go. We're going to grab the Swordfish here. You're going to see it's got like a 7-foot piece of yarn on it. I thought this might help identify it in the sky, and it didn't help. All it really did was add another obstacle to like totally crash a couple of planes flying close to one another. So I'm looking at my laptop there with DigiView. It's working. Now the one thing DigiView doesn't give you is the OSD recording, just like your regular recording. So I got my goggles on, and I'm going to get this thing up to about 300 feet above ground level, and we're going to turn the loiter on. So it's going to be in a big 1,000-foot radius loiter. And there we go. It's on. It's going. Now the DOLPHIN's ready to go as well. I'm looking up in the sky, just trying to get my bearing on it, and it's hard to see from the ground here. So I was like, all right, let's get this sucker in the air. I think I have an idea where it's at. And there we go. DOLPHIN has been launched. Now I'm coming back, doing a last-minute check, seeing which way the plane is pointed. And here we go. And there is the Swordfish. Now you can see that plane pretty good right now, especially with the white plane contrasting on the brown, and it goes away. So this is going to be the story of this video, is if you're trying to spot a plane, you kind of want to be above it. That's the best way to see it. Because right now you can't even tell where it's at, and that's because it's up above the horizon in the clouds, and it just blends right in. I'm gonna put some strobe, some bright lights, LEDs, something to make this thing kind of glow. And another thing, like this we're looking at the DVR. This is 4K, 60 frames per second. Everything's stabilized, the footage. It looks awesome. In your goggles, it's a whole different story. It is not even this clear. So here we go. We're coming up on the plane. We're getting close. I'm like, oh yeah. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. That piece of yarn is going to get caught in one of the props on the Dolphin. And I'm going to take both of these down. So I'm trying to come up with like a strategy while I'm trying to like not freak out at the same time. I can tell you once I see the swordfish, I stop worrying as much that it's going to just crash and fall out of the sky for some reason. Oh, I'm also going to, I went ahead and I panned the camera backwards. So hopefully we'll get some video here of the Dolphin coming up behind it. Just another perspective. And so now I've lost it. Trying to figure out where it's at. And just trying to calm myself down a little bit. And you're going to see, I think I even panned the camera back forward so I can get an idea of where it's heading. Because that farm down there below us is kind of like my orientation. So I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I see which way it's pointed now. And now I'm going the same direction. And there it is up ahead. And now it's time to intercept again. Definitely coming from above is the best way to do this. And there's me down below. There's my truck. So my tip is be above the whole time. I know what the altitude was. I was like, I set the altitude at 300 feet. So on mine, I'm like, okay, stay above 300 feet and you'll be able to see this. Also, I'm flying my Dolphin in manual. That was a bad idea. And that's just a habit. Like, I just fly the thing in manual all the time. I should have put it in horizon mode. That way, if I needed to, like, avoid something real quick, I could do that. And I could just, you know, make a hard bank or pitch. And I could have the authority to do so. But then I would have the stabilization. And just, I could track it better. So now we're going to try to get in close one more time. This 1,000-foot loiter actually worked really good. You know, I was just a little nervous about just putting it on cruise mode, and then I got to worry about 2 planes, loss of signal, and everything else. So yeah, that piece of yarn, it's like, hey, I'm going to go right into your props, dude. That's so stupid. All right, we're going to try to get a little bit closer. And now, the whole time I'm doing this, I'm not even watching my speed. As you know in my other videos, this Dolphin has to go a little bit quicker, a lot quicker than what this swordfish can do for a minimum speed. And I knew that going into it. I have the swordfish going at like 40 miles an hour, but it's the braking, it's trying to slow down real fast, and then I get really close there. Go ahead and try to pan the camera and look at it, and there it is. And now I am going to stall the aircraft. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm like, jeez. Ah, sigh of relief. Everything's good. So now I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to land this Dolphin, and we're going to call it a success. So let's get the planes down. Let's get everything landed, and we'll recap. All right, everyone, I call this a great success.
Great success.
Got both planes back, no collision. You know, the chase footage was kind of, it was all right. But for my first attempt, I'll totally take it. I'm going to try to do this again in the future. Maybe a little bit better footage, a little bit closer flying. Everything that I learned from this video is going to help me a whole bunch doing this a second time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you got any questions, post them up in the comments, and we'll see you on the next one, guys. See ya. Bye.